I'm with Laura Hubley. Laura, you can introduce yourself.
Hi there. Thanks, Toma. I'm Laura Hubley. I'm an account executive at Microsoft Advertising. I'm based in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I've been in my role for about 3 years now, but at Microsoft for going on 6. And prior to that, I have a little bit of agency experience as well. I used to develop new business for an agency called Mediative in Toronto, part of Yellow Pages Group. And prior to that, and I feel like I'm dating myself, but I was at a newspaper company, and I used to sell straight banner ads. So no programmatic.
A long time ago. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we are.
So I'm going to ask you the first question. Is Bing still important?
Yes, I mean, I know I'm biased. I work there, but for me, I think it's obviously yes. And when I started at Microsoft Advertising and Bing 6 years ago, our market share was 12.5% in Canada, and today it's over 20%, according to ComScore. So that's 1 in 5 searches happening on Bing. And so it's so interesting. I always feel like there's a tendency to just put all your dollars into the other engine, especially if
I don't know which one.
And to me, that's a miss, right? Because I feel like we're supposed to be driving performance, whether it's for the company we work for or the clients that we're working for. And I feel like, part of the spirit of like digital advertising is to test and understand what works really well and what doesn't. And so I feel like if you simply write it off and don't try, you never know. And I think what's hard sometimes, especially from for an agency with an advertiser, if the advertiser isn't aware of all the potentially great things on our engine, they can often push back when you pitch it, which can make it extra hard for agencies to kind of move forward on Bing. But I definitely think it's weird to me to put like all your eggs in one basket. You wouldn't do that with your investments. You wouldn't do it with like your purchasing decisions that you make individually. So yeah, I always recommend people tamper with both platforms. I would never tell you don't need to be on the other engine, obviously, but I think it's
of course
ideally to be in both places for sure.
Okay, thank you. My second question is, what are some great features from Microsoft Advertising that marketers should know about?
Good question. I feel like there's probably a few things that make us unique to Google in terms of products that we have that they don't. And that's usually what the comparison is between Google and Microsoft Advertising or Google and Bing. The one I feel like I'd want to focus on is our audience network. So of course there's the LinkedIn targeting, there's things like action extensions, all the little stuff, but I feel like where our business is going is moving outside of just search and having these display native opportunities in our platform that were never there a year ago. So it's exciting, it's new, and it's a way that one thing I hear a lot from advertisers and agencies is like efficiency. I need it to be efficient, to add this into the mix for my client. I don't have the bandwidth to do more. And so the audience network is a setting in your search campaigns where you can simply upload your image extensions or creative that you're already probably running on Facebook or GDN, for example. So we know you have it. So if you just upload it, not only is it an image extension next to your search ad, but it's also a display placement across our network. And that's on sites like MSN, Outlook, in the Edge browser, and then of course across our partner network as well. So as far as one thing I get pushback on is reach on our platform, right? And not enough volume. So if you want more volume, that's like an easy, natural extension of your search campaign. And those placements run in like native placements across those websites. And it's based on your search campaign. So your remarketing list, your keywords and that kind of stuff. So that if someone's on MSN, and they've already clicked on your ad and we're retargeting them, it's a great opportunity to be in front of them. So follow the customer journeys. Love that. And then the other audience network opportunity is to create audience campaigns, which I know we've talked a lot about in the past for some of Cossette's accounts. But with audience campaigns, you're simply audience targeting. So you're using your custom audiences, your remarketing lists, similar audiences, et cetera, LinkedIn, for example, and you're targeting users that way across our network. Again, same creative. And if you're in retail, using your feed as well, right? To actually do like dynamic retargeting and that kind of stuff. So I feel like those are newer on our platform, especially in Canada. I've been in the US for a couple of years now, but in Canada, it's not even been a year yet. I feel like you've probably heard it from me enough to think it's been like a decade.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's your job. So
yeah, it's new, right? And so it's like a perfect time to be sort of testing and figuring it out. And I know that going forward in 2021, one of the things I'm looking forward to are new types of placements that I can't share yet, but that are going to be available there. So I feel like, get in and get the understanding with like the static images, and then some funner stuff is to come.
And all this is going through the Microsoft advertising platform. I mean, it's not another website or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So the Microsoft advertising user interface, or UI, as we typically refer to it. So whether you're on the search team or programmatic team at your agency, or if you're a direct advertiser, you're logging into one place to do all those things.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And now the surprise question. It's not going to be a tricky one. I wanted to go to the tricky way, but finally I changed my mind. Somebody want to start on Microsoft advertising, what should they do?
Ooh, good question.
Where to start?
Yeah. So you know what? So I don't handle new business, but where to start is if you literally search for Microsoft advertising, you're going to see a paid search ad as well as organic ads to set up your accounts. If you're new to search, I would say you might actually click on some help pages and do a little bit of learning first before you go ahead and just set up an account. But it's pretty straightforward, especially if you're already on the other engine. You can actually import everything as soon as you set up an account, right? So we try to make it easy, but we also do have an SMB team and a support team, and there's always coupons. So you should always ask. So if you're new, there's those little secrets you can that you get to know. And those coupons are always in US dollars. So it's always better.
A lot in Canada.
In Canada. But yeah, there's support if you do a quick search, there's always support on how to. But if you do your research a little bit first, probably have less mistakes along the way. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Laura. I hope it was a great way to talk about Microsoft advertising, because like you said, I really think it's sorry, my cat. It's something that we don't use enough in agencies, just because of previous bias that we have about Bing and everything. But I really hope that in the future people would think more about Microsoft advertising.
Me too. And so I appreciate you having me on to kind of spread the word, and it's been great partnering together. So I appreciate the chance to chat.
My pleasure. So goodbye, everybody.